So talk us through your background a little bit. So 4-time regional athlete.
Yeah.
You must have had a really solid sporting background before moving across into functional fitness.
Yeah, so as a kid, I played sports. I played baseball, American football, and then I was a wrestler in high school. And then I went on to play football in college for 4 years. And
Which college was that?
Georgetown College in Kentucky. It's a smaller school, but I was able to play there. And then I got my degree in exercise science, and then I went on to graduate school and got a master's degree in occupational therapy. So after I finished playing football, somebody said, hey, you should try this workout. It's called Fran.
Roped into Fran as well. That's like the starting point for everyone.
So I had done some, like maybe a couple like CrossFit style workouts. So just for fun. And I thought it was kind of silly because they didn't lift heavy weights. I was just like wanting to lift. And they said, do Fran, and I died, of course.
What was your time? Do you remember?
It was really fast.
Was it?
It was like
first time Fran and you did it fast?
It was like 220 or something like
Yeah,
that.
but look at this body shape though. We're going for a Fran body shape.
Yeah.
I think my first Fran was like 7 minutes.
Yeah. I think my Fran still is 7 minutes.
I could do butterfly pull-ups. Like
Okay.
I don't know. I've just always been athletic. So like someone could show me something and I can see it, and I can like visualize it and do it. So I skipped all the requirements and learning, and I saw somebody do it, and I said, okay, I can do that. And I practiced, and they said, all right, just go as hard as you can, and then that's it. And they're like, it's like 2-3 minutes maybe, like it's a really, really good time. And I just went really, really hard, and I laid on the ground, and and that was my first like intro to CrossFit. Anyway, so that was in 2014, and I still didn't really know much. So I went to 2014 regionals just to watch, and I was there with my brother, and I said, hey man, we can do this. Let's do it. So we trained, and then I qualified in 2015 for regionals. And I knew as soon as I started I wanted to compete, so I just went really, really hard. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I was trying really hard.
So the beauty was having that background in sports.
Yeah.
Because to go from 2014 and go, I want to be there, and then 2015 be there, that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. So some movements came easy, some were very hard, but
the general fitness was there, right? So
yeah. I love exercising. I would do it all the time, even if CrossFit wasn't discovered. I would still do something high intensity, hard movements just for fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
Have you found that you have learned something every single regionals competition you've attended?
Yeah. The first year, I just thought I didn't belong. I saw all these guys. In my region, it was Scott Panchik and Dan Bailey, Graham Holmberg, the Central region. So like these are like the biggest guys, and
some big old names.
And I'm like sitting next to them, standing next to them. I was like, I can't do what they do. Like no way. So I didn't do very well there. I didn't have a coach. I didn't know like what I was doing. So, I thought people would be like, what, why are you here? How did you get here? Like you don't belong. And that's not the case, but in your mind you think that.
Yeah.
So each year you get a little bit. You reassure yourself that it wasn't an accident and that you actually do belong.
Yeah.
And the more you...
Well, it's like the small achievements that you get from it, you then realize, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And every time you get a little achievement, it pumps you on to do something a little bit harder.
Yeah, exactly. So just when you are next to other people who are like the same as you and competing, and you realize like you guys are all on the same level, and you guys all belong here, you all train hard, then you feel like I am a CrossFitter. Like this is what I do, this is what I train, and so each year you feel like you belong a little bit more, and you're a little more confident. That's the biggest thing, is confidence.
What's been your best place finish?
And regionals?
In regionals.
13th. I finished 13th this past year. Yes.
So what are your thoughts on the fact that regionals are getting the boot?
Yeah. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I like it. Regionals is fun maybe, but I like the thought of being able to compete throughout the year. I love to compete, so if I can compete once every 2 months, that is awesome. I love that. Like that's fun. Once a year, everything matters. Those 6 events matter so much. but now there's more opportunities.
The only thing with it, of course, is going to make it harder to peak, right? So
Right.
if you wanted to peak for a particular time, but now you find that you do a competition, you do a sanctioned comp, maybe you don't make the cut, you want to do another one, it's harder to then schedule in when your peak is going to be.
Yeah.
For me personally, though, I think with the whole regional cut thing, nothing changes, because rather than being a regional athlete, you're now going to be a sanctioned comp athlete.
Yeah.
Right? So you go there first.
Wadapalooza qualifier athlete. I finished 10th at Wadapalooza.
There you go.
That is regionals.
There you go.
And I think the best thing about it is that you're going to see Matt Fraser, Patrick Bellner, Brent Fickout. Like, you'll see those guys competing 2, 3, 4 times a year, when always you see them once a year, twice a year. Games, regionals. That's the only thing you see them compete. So you'll see them compete against each other multiple times a year, and that's going to be awesome to see. And it's going to be in a different environment. You'll get to see them do cool, different events rather than regional. So it'll be awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Assuming that the way they structure it is good for athletes.
Yeah.
So I like it.
No, go ahead.
No, with this competition, where does it fit into your overall schedule for the year? Like, how have you ended up in England competing on behalf of the USA?
Right. So I got a message on Instagram from the coaches of this team, and they said, hey, this is what we're doing. This is our vision. Do you want to be a part of it? And I was like, if say that I qualify and we get to go to London, like, you know, what happens? Like, well, if, you know, you get to come to London, you get to see the city, you get to compete against other countries, like, and then like we want to make this like an international thing. And I was like, sign me up. I didn't know what it was, honestly, but a trip around the world and just to compete against people that you never get to compete against, because you always compete against people in the same region.
Yeah.
And you know them very well, but like, I'm sure you're a very good athlete. I never met you before.
Yeah.
Now I have an opportunity to meet you.
Exactly.
I made friends from Canada and Argentina, and like, you don't get those opportunities. And I think the best thing is that all these opportunities, and I'm sure you can feel the same way, because I like to exercise.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I like to
We have
exercise.
a common ground.
I dedicate time to it, and we're all here for the same reason. And I would never come to London, maybe on vacation, but it's not the same experience.
No.
Because it's not like a sacrifice that I made to earn, the
Yeah.
trip or anything.
Yeah.
So all these opportunities that I wouldn't get because if CrossFit wasn't, or functional fitness wasn't a thing. Yeah.
What must be really interesting is, I guess, when you said you come from a region in America, because America's so big, you don't know competition outside of the area in which you're training, whereas actually in England, we kind of know all of our competitors, don't we?
Somewhat,
the
yeah,
country,
somewhat.
like, give or take.
Because here the competition scene is growing, but it's still quite small, so we have to go out anyway to source those
So
competitions.
you coming to this, Josh, have an experience to take on people who you've literally no idea of, and that must be really different for you.
Yeah, it's awesome. And for me, I've only been in the sport a short amount of time, and I've done sport a lot less than you have.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been doing this for 3 years, competitively for 2 only.
Yeah.
So to be in a situation like this, I'm in no doubt that I'm still the rookie. So meeting guys like you and meeting other people is just incredible for me as well.
Yeah.
And I guess that's in part what all of these events are for the athletes, aren't they?
Yeah.
What are the biggest differences between something like this, apart from at this stage the scale, and something like regionals was, in terms of the variety of athletes you get here?
So the biggest difference is, I think the way that the event overall is structured, and the way that the staff interact with the athletes is a huge difference. So when you go to regionals, it's you, and that's it. It's just you. Maybe you have a coach. Maybe your mom and your wife and your dad are there. But here, we traveled with 10 athletes. We have coaches with us, and then we have a team manager, and we have the staff who we are like, we're friends with them. We have the same goals of like bringing fitness to the world stage. And so they want to help us, and they're like, thank you for being here. Like, we couldn't do this without you. And
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you for being here. We couldn't do this without you. So it's like we're all working towards this goal. In other competitions and events, it's like we're putting on this event, and maybe I'm lucky to be here, and that's it. It's like you compete, and if you win, great. If not, just go home. So it seems like the staff really care about the athletes.
You almost feel like you're a part of something, right? And that's what's quite nice about it.
Exactly.
I mean, even when I was at regionals this year, incredible, but you do feel like you're a small fish in a big pond and you're just taking part in their organization, whereas here, it really does feel like you're a part of what's going on.
100%.
And because it's the start, we are the foundation.
Right.
And coming here with a team, like even with being with Team GB, you almost, even though as an individual, you want to win, you want to do great, you want to see your team do great. Yeah. So everyone's pulling everyone through it together, which is awesome.
I was competing, right next to a teammate from USA, but we're competing head to head. But like I'm on the rower, and he's talking to me, he's next to me, and he's like ahead of me, and he's like, hey man, like settle down, you got this. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Is that Matt?
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah.
He's very good at endurance stuff, and that's not maybe my strong point. So he's like, just relax. I'm like, all right. And he's like about to finish the row. I'm like, all right, man, like you got to win this. Like go. Like you got to go.
Right, because he was neck and neck, wasn't he, with the athlete in second?
So I'm cheering him on.
And you don't get that in other competitions.
No,
it doesn't happen like that.
No, it's you and everybody else is the enemy and the competition, and they are standing in the way of you reaching your goal. So, but here, like before the heat, it's like, hey man, good luck. What are you gonna do? Like, oh, I think I'll open with this many kilos. Oh, cool, yeah, me too. Awesome, good luck. Yeah. So like,
it's lovely.
You're a group together. We're not like we're competing, but it's a fun environment. It's a really cool environment.
Yeah.
I love it. It's been awesome.
Oh, good.
Oh, well, enjoy the rest of your time. Thank you very much for taking the time to sit down and chat with us. Do you think the USA will buy into this long term? Just before you go, your last thought.
Yeah, I think so. I think the USA will be maybe a slower country to get on board.
Because it's so big and CrossFit's so ingrained.
So CrossFit, like the United States is like the home of CrossFit, and we have, we'll probably have maybe 5 sanctioned events throughout the year, and those are very big. Like, people right now are doing different qualifiers, like the Wadapalooza qualifier. Like people are doing that right now today.
Yeah. So Josh will be all over that one.
Yeah. So
we had back now.
Yeah, we had a couple people do the qualifier yesterday morning and then compete later. So it interferes. So if your goal is elsewhere and making it to the games, or maybe even like winning a bunch of money and your sponsors and stuff, like that can dictate what you do. So.
There may be a shift, though. You got to think this is only the second year already, and the caliber of athletes that are here. We might see a shift. We might see people actually working towards getting to this platform.
Right.
Who knows?
I think you will. And I think, like I said, I think all countries that are big into the functional fitness, it'll grow. Mm-hmm. But I do think that the United States might be a little bit slower. But I mean, next year I'll sign up and I'll try to bring all my friends.
Yeah, as long as we can have you back.
Yeah. So I think it's an attractive thing. Like you get to go. Next year will be Sweden.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to Sweden and work out?
Pretty sure we all want to go to Sweden.
Sure. Why not? Like what's the worst thing that could happen?
When I first came on board with this, and they were like, last year we did it in San Francisco. I was like, great, we're gonna go somewhere. And they're like, this year we're hosted. I was like, damn it, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. So, but it's still cool. So
that's
I think
awesome.
if you love the competition aspect of what we do and the community, and like you said, we're all have a goal. If you can buy into that, then you'll have good athletes. So, but some athletes have other priorities, but that's fine.
Well, thank you very much. I hope you do brilliantly across the weekend.
Thank you.
And all your teammates.
Thank you.
And it was really nice to have you on.
Thank you. I
Thanks
appreciate
so much,
it.
bro. Appreciate it.